Well, so we've had a few people that, yeah, have wanted to toss in the towel. It's an easy thing to want to do. I know Sandy had a rough week too, didn't you, Sandy?
I did, but I'm back. I tracked all my food yesterday, tracked most of it. Um, Tired, and I pushed. I did 360 on the leg press today.
Woohoo!
Biceps. Well, my legs hurt.
Your legs
I'm
hurt.
gonna
That's
in trouble tomorrow. But yeah, I'm back. And Jen, thanks to Jen and Jules, because you both pulled me out of my stupidity or humanness, whatever
human.
you want to call it.
It, well,
Human.
that's just it. Like we're human. We're going to, have bumps in the road. We're going to, hit those roadblocks. But what do we do with it? Do we just throw in the towel and give up on ourselves, or do we keep moving forward?
Exactly.
So true. I was thinking about that today when I was sitting in the sauna. Like, I think we forget everybody thinks people are invincible once they hit certain goals in their lives, but I don't always, I was thinking about it, I'm like, I don't always feel motivated to go to the gym. Like, I struggle as much as anybody else. I don't want to eat my food. I struggle being patient with myself. I struggle with the way that I look sometimes. I struggle with not wanting to eat my meals. I struggle with eating the chicken off the scale to make it equal the correct weight versus putting it back in the bowl. Thanks, Jen. For the meme. Like, we all have it, but it's just, we have to, like, sometimes we have to just realign ourselves and realize, like, it's normal. Like, you have to, I was thinking about, like I said, I was sitting in the sauna thinking about this today, and like, you could have a goal. Think about it. You want your dream job. You get your dream job, you're not happy. You want more. You get, like, I've been at the leanest that I've ever been in my life. I looked in the mirror and said I had body fat on me. And I was unhappy with something. Like, we're never going to be 100% satisfied. We're never going to, there's always going to be something you're going to get. Like, I remember Jen saying this one time, and I was thinking about it too. Like, you'll hit your goal weight and you're going to go shopping for clothes and be fucking pissed off because nothing fits because everything's too big, and then have to realize that, well, shit, I was pissed off earlier because nothing fit because it was too tight. Like, literally, guys, you have to, like, this is it. This is human. It's humanized. Shit is going to happen. Like, nothing is ever going to be perfect. If you think for a minute that, rose blossoms are going to come flying out of your ass every day, it isn't going to happen. Like, it's just not. Like, you're gonna have days that you're gonna be woo on fire, but you're gonna have days where you're like, fuck me in the world. Sorry to the sun walking behind the screen. But we're gonna have days like that are like, we just
Yeah.
don't want to, we're gonna have the struggles. And the thing is to remember to just, that's what sets you apart from everybody else, is the fact that you just get back on the bus, you get back on the wagon, you get back on whatever it is. Like, you derail a little, but if you derail or something happens for a day, 2 days, a week even, you're still better than you were the week before or the week before that. Like, you're still in a very good place, and you can always step back on. You haven't gone so far. When we get into trouble is when, as like we said, we derail and we get the fuck it attitude, and that fuck it attitude just keeps coming and keeps coming and keeps coming week after week. Then we start to create a new pattern and we get into trouble. But there's nothing, like I say to you guys all the time, there's nothing that you can do in a week that can't be undone, or 2 weeks. Even like going on vacation, um, and enjoying yourself for a while. Like, Look at Michelle. She's a classic example. She went on vacation to Hawaii and she didn't say fuck it, but she kind of meandered in and out of her macros and had a few drinks and enjoyed her life. Came back, was 4 pounds heavier, and checked in last week after dialing her shit back in again immediately, right back to the weight that she was before she left. Because your metabolisms are way different now. But if you continue with that mindset, if you get on that scale and you think to yourself, shit, like I just put on this, and you throw in the towel, as Jen said earlier, then that just perpetually will get worse. It'll just compound itself on top of it. And that's your old life, guys. Those are the things that we used to do. We used to be run by the scale. I just had a conversation with another tribe member who, you guys didn't know this. We can see when you get on the scale, by the way. So when you're getting on the scale every day, we know. And blew her mind that I could tell that she was getting on the scale every day. And she was getting on the scale every day, and her weight went up almost 10 pounds in the middle of the week. Reality check, she was up 3 pounds from the week before. However, she sure as hell wasn't up 10 pounds. So first of all, one, the conversation I had with her is you cannot get on the scale every day. Weight fluctuates. Weight fluctuates. This is why we weigh ourselves once a week, same time, same consistency, meaning if you weigh yourself without drinking water, you always weigh yourself without drinking water. If you weigh, like the best rule of thumb is getting up first thing in the morning and weighing yourself. And we have people that do this in here, their weight fluctuates. And when I ask some questions, turns out they weighed themselves in the middle of the day. If you guys weigh yourself in the middle of the day after you've eaten 5 meals and half a gallon of water, guess what? Even if it's Saturday, your weight is going to be different. I go to bed anywhere between 3 to 5 pounds heavier than when I wake up. And I should. Everybody should. That means you're actually building some shape to your body. You should weigh more before you go to bed. You should go up in weight during the day. But my point is, you have a high carb day, a low carb day, your weight is going to fluctuate. It's going to depend. If you slipped up and, ate a few extra, whatever, one day, your weight could be up. The other thing that you have to remember is, this is the conversation that I had with her too, the closer that we get to our goals, and pretty much everybody on this call currently right now is pretty fucking close to their goals. Like you are within slivers of where you want, and you're pushing the envelope to get further, to grow, to develop, to get slightly leaner. But the reality is you don't have tremendous amounts of weight to lose. You're either in a phase where you're still trying to lean out and lose some body fat in specific areas of your body, or you're in an area where you're trying to do that and develop muscle, or maybe you're in an area where you're just growing muscle. But the closer that you guys get to your goals, this was the conversation I had with her too. You have to remember, the harder it becomes. And I know you don't want to hear that, but the reality is one, you have to become tighter. It's me too. Like I have been the same weight for a year. But what you have to remember, I've been the same weight for, well, over a year actually. And the reason why I've been the same weight for a year, but my body composition, if you were to look at pictures, has totally changed. So probably 18 months ago, my body composition looked fairly close to what it does now, right now, except I had a bigger ass. But what happened during the phase of me being basically immobile and not moving, even though I ate right, my body composition went from muscle, body fat to muscle, body fat. Just simply not moving. No, nothing to do with me. Continued to eat very well. Like I wasn't shoving pizza down my face, guys. I wasn't eating ice cream every night. I was pretty much eating a decent, meal, but this is what happened just due to moving. My body looked completely different. My weight never really changed. And then over the course of a year, I'm going to say a year because I started moving probably a year ago in June, really truly moving, not anything excessive, but I was able to really move a little bit more. And my slowly over a year, I'm back to here again. But my weight never changed. Frustrating as fuck. But my body composition started to change and go back. So now I'm in the sweet spot of where I can now start to dial it in. But dialing it in for me is no more being, yeah, that's an ounce more chicken. Let me just pop that in my mouth.
Oh my God, that meme was so you. Dying.
That's what I do. Like, oh, let me pop that chicken in my mouth. Well, now the scale's even. Okay, it's just protein. Or I'm just gonna have, yeah, it's just a little, like, I don't eat bad. I don't eat bad, but I'm not like any different than any of you. I literally, I really don't. But I am very guilty of eating more on my plan than I should, meaning, and it's generally protein, because in my head, I'm like, it's just protein, but that adds calories. I'm also guilty of not being really good with my timing. All right. I can be off on my timing. I can switch meals around, do crazy ass shit like that. That doesn't help me. I plateau and I stay the same. My body composition will change, guys. My body composition will change. I'm not shooting myself in the foot by eating more protein. I am not. To be honest with you, my coach was probably delighted that I fucked up half the time because I was doing myself a favor as I was recovering. But he had to listen to all my whining, even though I knew what I was doing to myself, I still whined to him. But he knew that I was not being 100%. And it benefited me. Why? Because I had lost a shit ton of muscle. But the fact of the matter is I wasn't going to like lose any body fat faster because I'm close to my goal. I have to really dial shit in if I want to see like drastic results. And that doesn't mean my cardio, that just means my consistency, when I eat, what I eat, like everything just has to be consistent. And that's when I start to dial it in. Now, that being said, like if you're all holding your head going, well, fuck me, the rest of my life is going to be torture. No, but then you have to be okay with the fact that things are going to move a little slower because you're closer to your goal. I had this conversation with Sandy. I'm like, Sandy, like, listen, you can, like, she'll tell you. I just said to her, she thought I was going to beat her up. I'm like, duh. You know what? I don't really give a shit if you want to do this. You want to enjoy yourself a few nights a week, go out to dinner with the boyfriend, whatever. I know that she's not eating crazy outside of her meal plan. I know she's not doing anything insane, but she also had these big goals written on her sheet. And I said, if this is where you want to be, if you're happy, then we need to adjust the goals because all she's doing is setting herself up for failure. But if that is what you truly want, then you need to have a real conversation with yourself. But either way, I just told her, I said, I don't want a response. I just want you to think about this and tell me where you're at. And we will adjust, we'll pivot. Because she looks fucking good. We all know she looks good. But if she wants more, she knows as much as I do, she's got to dial it in. She's not hurting herself by doing what she's doing. Does that make sense, guys? The scale is going to make adjustments. It's going to go up. So for example, like when the girl that I was speaking to yesterday in the tribe that went up 3 pounds, again, very close to her goals right now, doesn't have much body fat to lose. And I said to her, like, that scale, you also have to remember, guys, this is not a linear journey. I'm going to repeat this again. This is not a linear journey. There is not a straight line in fat loss. There's not a straight line in weight loss. There is no straight line. It is a very bumpy line. And if you look at your results short term, it could look like you're not making any results because you see this going across the screen in the app. But if you pull things out, I promise you, there's not one person on this call that if you pull things out and you look at it from a bigger perspective, that your line doesn't go down. It goes down like this, but it is continually going down, and that is a fucking good thing. Make sense? Give me a thumbs up. Yeah. So we're all going to have these moments. Lieutenant had a few moments. She went a little plateaued for a while. Did she lose anything? Absolutely not. She probably gave herself a brain break. She's back on track. There's nothing wrong with it. What she did for consistently, I don't know, a couple of weeks, she knew she plateaued herself. She may have gone up a little bit, but she never went back to where she was. She never went back to bad habits that she may have had prior to. She can correct me if I'm wrong. She's driving, so she can't say a whole lot. But then once she realized what was happening and she was like, nah, you know what? I'm done with this. I'm done with the little brain break and I'm ready to get after my goals again. And she dialed it in, shoop, down she went. You're all like that. So you got to give yourself that grace, but also at the same time, be very, very honest with yourself. That's where it becomes important. I love the philosophy of give yourself grace. But giving yourself grace and making fucking excuses are two totally different things. Totally. And we'll call you on your shit when you're making excuses. But giving yourself grace, that's like allowing yourself to be a human and just getting right back at it again, because where we are right now, that's exactly the life we're going to live in. Like we're going to live in that ebbs and flows, and you want to live your life, you're going to go sideways. You're going to go on vacation like Rita, you're going to enjoy yourself, but then you're going to come back and you're going to be like, all right, time to tighten my shit up. And the beautiful thing about that, is when you do that, you're probably going to see even more results because you just gave yourself a brain break and you gave your body a break. I know for a fact, I'm doing a little test right now. I'm doing a little test right now with myself. So I got 2 weeks before I go back to Tulum. And I've dialed my fucking shit in spot fucking on. And I've even sprinkled in a little extra. I sat in the sauna. I'm doing fasted cardio, pushing the envelope as hard as I can. And I'm going to be consistent as fuck. Now, I'm not telling anybody to do this, but I'm pretty sure I can do this. And I'm just curious that I can peel off 5 to 6 pounds in 2 weeks just because of how disciplined I become. I know how to do it. I know that I've been playing a game. I know that, and I'm not going to change anything. I'm not changing anything. All I'm going to do is shift shit around. I'm playing, I'm testing. I don't even know if it's going to work. I'm just shifting shit around. I'm taking my cardio. I'm shifting a portion of it to the morning. I'm fasted. I'm not going to miss a goddamn meal. I'm going to lean into sitting in a sauna. Does the sauna work? Yeah, it actually does, guys. I don't, it's believe it or not, if you sit in a sauna, specifically like an infrared or any sauna, like at about 120 degrees, if you can do that, please do not run out and fucking do this. Okay. You gotta work yourself up to this. I have a high intensity for saunas, but you will burn extra calories because you increase your internal core. It is actually factual that you can do that. Plus for me, it's actually really good for a lot of other, I feel really good when I get out of the sauna. I just got out of the sauna an hour ago now, and I was walking out of the gym. I'm like, fuck, my leg feels good. I'm like, damn, I gotta remember to do this. But anyway, my point is I'm going to dial everything up and just see what I can do in the next 2 weeks, because I know that I've just been sloppy. So the point
I'm in. Me too. I'm in.
All right, you and I,
Let's
Jen.
do it.
No
2
fucking
weeks.
sloppy. 2 weeks. Not gonna be sloppy at all.
That's right. I dialed my shit in yesterday. Actually, and then I noticed that my coach changed to he's like, do fasted if possible for cardio. So I'm like, all right. So I got up this morning, did my fasted cardio, and I was like, fuck fasted cardio.
It is.
But
It's
I did it
tough.
anyways. Oh my God. I'm like, okay, I'm getting comfortable with being uncomfortable again. You know, like,
Yeah.
and that's what it is like as the minute I get uncomfortable, the minute I start to see changes.
Yep, that's it. Yep. It's totally it. We get uncomfortable and then we start to see because you know, I'm glad you brought that up. So we get what's the word I'm looking for? Compliant, very
Complacent.
complacent.
Complacent. Yeah.
Thanks. I knew I had a teacher on the team for a reason. Complacent. And we just become like, and there's nothing bad about that. Like, I'm gonna lean back into Sandy for a minute. She can exactly. She's shaking her head. Yes. She knows how to dial her shit in too. Like we get to that place and then we plateau. And again, Sandy's bouncing along right where like she's doing this, right? But if she leans out and like joins Jen and I and gets her shit together and tightens up for the next 2 weeks, she probably will do the same thing. All right, there's 3 of us. I just signed you up, Sandy. Sorry. There's 3 of us for 2 weeks that are not going to miss. And you got like, we expect all of like, we don't, I should say this, we know that this is a lifestyle for a lot of you guys. Part of me doing this is to prove it to myself that I can jump back on track without having to be competing or anything and just push the envelope and see what I can do. Also, you guys will get a chance to see what happens when you're spot fucking on. We know that you guys aren't always going to be spot on. It's not easy to do. But that's like my point is like when we are,
Well,
that's when changes happen. But if you're not, you have to have that honest conversation with yourself and be like, yeah, I'm pulling the jewels and I'm eating well, that's 4 ounces of chicken. I'm supposed to have 3. Let me just put that 1 ounce in my mouth. We know you do that.
But it's all hard. It's all hard though, right, Jules? It's all
Yeah,
hard.
it's all hard. It's
So
all
it's not easy to dial it in, but it's not easy to feel like crap when you don't. So
Mhm.
it's all hard. We choose our hard, right?
And
I'd
like
rather like feel the hard that gives me the results afterwards. And that's what I have to keep reminding myself, right? This is hard. It's hard to go the extra mile, but it's also hard when I'm stagnant or when I'm not where I want to be. I have goals. So which hard do I want? They're both going to be hard. They're both going to suck. Which suck do I want?
which suck do I want? And it's
Sorry, that
okay.
got a little dirty, but
No, I like that. But and it's okay, guys, to have like times where you take little breaks. Like that's okay. But then
yeah,
so you gotta
sure.
figure out like, okay, time to all right, I'm done. Remember what I said, there's a big difference between giving yourself grace and excuses. I'm dialing my shit in because I've been giving myself fucking excuses. Done. Legs healed. I'm good. I'm moving forward. Knock it off. Move forward. No more excuses. Push the envelope, Jules. And for me personally, and I think it's a lot for a lot of you, when I do something like this, when I tighten shit up, it starts to create momentum. I get momentum. And because I start to see things happening, then I get momentum. And I get really consistent because I see the momentum. And then, that's, yeah. Makes sense? All right. Rita's going to be 110% when she gets back from her vacation. We're going to put all those wherever she was, carbohydrates. I think she was in Spain to use. We're gonna boom, we're gonna punch those right in. All right, feel free to give comments, questions. Good motivational speech. Laura, you with us? I think Laura's on vacation right now too.
Hey, yeah, I'm here.
Hi. I think she's off on her. Funny story about Laura. I think Laura's on vacation, and I
Right.
think a year ago, close to a year ago to date, Laura was on this exact same summer vacation with her family and called me, basically telling me there was absolutely nothing in the world that worked, that she'd been trying to lose weight over 30 pounds for a decade or more. And she literally called me a liar, basically, in so many words. She told me that this shit wasn't
Not wrong.
I'm gonna try anyway, Jules, but I'm telling you right now, it's not gonna work. Lo and behold.
Yeah, July 13th was when I reached out to you. And yes, I'm back in Seattle, which is a hard spot for me. I grew up here, but it's like everything is food centered. Nobody works out. I'm talking about my own family. Love them to death, but wine is always flowing. Haven't had a single glass since I've been here. I'm not saying I've had a drink, but it hasn't been wine because that for me is like a slippery slope to bad eating and drinking too
Ooh,
much. So
yeah.
enjoyed a couple like lighter a single cocktail versus what I used to do here, so that's good.
Yeah. I like that. So
I'm
listen,
walking around,
yeah,
but
that's
yeah, it's
yeah.
hard here.
But
It's definitely hard, but easier than last year. So thanks.
yeah. And like I love that you're sharing this. Like this has become a lifestyle. So like listen to what she's saying. Like what I love and what I'm hearing from Laura is like again, this is two different worlds. This is a brand new Laura. Like Laura last year would not have been in these shoes. And so like after
No.
almost a year of this, you have a new lifestyle. And like she understands her
Yeah, I
trigger.
feel like I actually just logged on at a great time in the call because I feel like not like I'm not doing a good job here, but it's harder. And so I feel like I'm probably doing a little bit of this. And I'm like, okay, that's okay. I'm still trying and I'm still doing it. It's just going to not be exactly the same as what I was doing at home. So I don't know. We'll see.
That's actually perfect. And this is called the
Good.
lifestyle part of it, and you recognize it and you said things that are super key. Like listen to what Laura said. Like one of the things I picked up on is I'm not drinking the wine. Wine is something in her family. That's not to say she can't drink the wine, but the key word to pick up on that she said that she recognizes that's a trigger for her. So
Yeah.
she still has a cocktail, but she's chose something else. And the smart part of it is she recognized the trigger because she doesn't want to go down a slippery slope.
Yeah,
That's
thank you.
important.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
We have like
Enjoying yourself.
4.5 more weeks here. So I got to keep doing that.
You got it. You just keep showing up here, but you just got to think about that and you do what you can and you make changes and it's a lifestyle. And and here's the thing, she's 4.5 weeks. Things are going to look different than when she's at home. She's recognized all the things. And if you stay exactly the same for that 4 weeks, that's a win.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. I hope.
That's a win. Like if
Yeah,
nothing
that's
changes,
hard to say. Like that would be fine with me, but you're right.
it is. I'm not saying that that's the goal, but
No, no, I know. Yeah,
but if nothing changes in 4 weeks, that's a win. Because in
yeah.
the past,
Okay.
things would be different.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
you're out walking right now. I guarantee you, 4 weeks or a year ago, this would not have been you.
No, I was not doing this in the morning because I'd had too much wine and ate a bunch of shitty food and wasn't out of bed. So,
Guys, she's playing right into my conversation here. This is it. She's playing right into it. This is what it's about. You get to this place where it is a lifestyle and shit ain't gonna look perfect all the time, but you've changed the way that you approach things and you can always dial it back in. She's in control. Laura's in control. She can turn it down and coast and pay attention to what's happening, understand her triggers, and she can get back for, she can choose to do it in the middle of it. She might go, fuck, I feel like goddamn shit and I'm tired of this. I'm going to go find a goddamn gym. I'm going to start working out. That could be her in 2 weeks because she doesn't like the way she feels, or she could continue to do what she's doing for 4 weeks and then get home and go, all right, boom, turn it up. Because she just took a 4 week, I wouldn't call it a sabbatical, but like she took a 4 week little rest, but she didn't throw in the towel. I guarantee you she's not going to throw in the towel. She stays
Yeah,
consistent.
I definitely don't feel like that at all. So that's good.
Right. I mean, and there's two things. Like you could show up here in 2 weeks and go, I like miss, you know, that happens. Like that happens. Sometimes we get to that place where like, I miss this. I need to turn it up. I'm not going to wait till I get home from vacation because, you know.
Yeah, but definitely feeling good. Better, so much better than last year. So that's a win.
I know. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I love it. Changing lives. Rita's in the airport. What's she got on? You look good, girl.
What do I have on? Just
Yeah.
my backpack. Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You look
Yeah. Laura was saying about her trip. Maybe like in the past, I would eat a lot of more like fried foods and hamburgers, chicken fingers, pizza, but it's more like grilled chicken now and basically no red meat. You know, I did have half of a hamburger. I told myself I was gonna have some red meat, and I counted my fat for that in my macros. And yeah, but it usually on vacation or trips, it would be hamburgers, pizza, fried foods, French fries. So just my food choices. I'm more aware, even though I thought I ate healthy, I ate a lot of fried foods. So yeah.
And did you enjoy
Made a
yourself?
big difference. Loved it. I did have some dessert. I did have a couple of drinks. But yeah, when I get back, I'll give myself a day or two to get everything I need, and I'll get right back on track because I don't feel like I did anything wrong. I felt great the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like the catch 20 guys, like listen to this. Like she enjoyed herself. Two big points to take away from this. She went on vacation. She was aware of what she ate. She said, like, in the past, I would do blank, 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 blank. She still enjoyed some sweets. She enjoyed herself, but she ate differently. I purposely asked her if she had fun. She was like, yes, I had fun. Think about what we used to like. This is where I say food is an emotional trigger for us. And no matter what anybody says, we eat emotionally. Jen and I just did this talk on TikTok. If you're away, if you're on TikTok, come hang out with us at 2:00. We're on TikTok. But we were talking about this, and I just did a reel on this, caught a little bit of heat for it too. Aging, menopause, that's not what's got us gaining weight, guys. It's the emotional triggers around food that we have. And Rita just nailed it. So did Laura. Like in the past, if I was, and I'll let her talk in a minute, but this is a vacation she does often. We say to ourselves, well, I'm on vacation, so what's the word? Deserve. You reward yourselves. And the reality, because I worked hard all year, I did this, and then food becomes the reward. And the reality is, I'm going to ask her this too. She was probably more miserable the last vacation she had. This one, she was like smiling. I said, did you have fun? Yes, I had a blast. Why? She felt good. Am I right? She walks through the airport. Yeah. We don't need food as a reward. And that's like huge. Same with Laura. Like wine was probably a reward for her. And now she's like, well, shit. Yeah. Last year I wouldn't have been up walking because I would have been in bed, hungover, not feeling good and not happy. So you like literally have more fun. I remember I'll say this last little story because this is interesting. I remember I had somebody start once, like 1 week in, and they went on their honeymoon. And it was Lindsay Buckley. And she was like, man, do I have to do this? And I was like, you don't have to do it 100%, but if you do it 90-10 or 80-20, you're probably going to have more fun than half the people that are like, even your husband. And I'll never forget. She was like, that was the best. It was her honeymoon, but she called it like a vacation. She was, that's the best vacation I ever had. She was like, I felt good. Like I was laying on the beach. I felt good. I'd never felt hungover. Like she went on, she's like, that was way more fun than doing all that other shit. Because you feel good. Guys are out there living life. I love it. Oops, here comes Carrie.
I'm ready to go back on another vacation. I have one more month still of no work. I need another vacation. I'm ready.
Do it, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Me too. And by the way, guys, when I go to Tulum, I won't be actually, I don't plan on following. I will follow. Actually, my meal plan is pretty easy to follow. I actually just told my coach, I'm like, well, he changed. I'm like, thanks for doing that because it's actually pretty doable in Tulum. But I don't plan on being like, I'll intuitively, in fact, he wants me to, and I'll intuitively eat, but I will probably do things like eat ceviche, and things like that. But that's about the extent of it. Like I don't go really super crazy because I tend to undereat, to be honest with you, when I don't follow a nutrition plan. In fact, he just increased my food. He dialed me in by increasing my food because he's like, I have a sneaking suspicion you're not eating enough. He's probably right. Even though I pop in the chicken every once in a while. I'm a shit. You guys think you're bad. I'm a real shit. Good stuff, guys. Jen, you got something to add? I know I can see you trying
Good
to.
stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. No, oh, I was just listening to something this morning, and I think it was Mel Robbins' voice that came on, and she was like, 90% of our decision making is based off of feelings. And when we make our decisions based off of feelings, we rob ourselves of joy and opportunity. And that like really resonated with me because I was just like, oh, hot damn. Like, because we usually are like instant gratification, instant this. Like we want to see results right away. And that's just not always the case, like what we were talking about yesterday. Like it takes time, it takes effort, it takes discipline, day in and day out, putting in the reps, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
consistency. Yeah,
it's so many things. Like, and guys, like, it's consistency and seeing results. Yeah. And it's okay. Like, that's where, we say, like, it's okay to cruise for a while. You just have to then give yourself the grace and be like, I'm cruising because, like, Jen didn't have the best check-in either. And she's competing in I don't know how many weeks out she's
12
now.
weeks, 12.
12 weeks, ideally should she have, but she didn't throw in the towel. Like she didn't fuck anything up that terrible, but the reality is, and that's what I'm talking about. Like, and I even had like that conversation with her. She was a little upset with herself, but like when you're that close, like you guys think you got a lot going on. She's so close. If she just like a little, things get a little bumpy on her and she can see the difference. But I mean, it doesn't mean shit is going to go sideways in that week that she tossed her meals around a few times and didn't make things like 100% spot on. Nothing went out the window, but what would have went out the window is if she threw in the towel and did it again for the next week and the next week and the next week.
Exactly.
Got to get her head right and go,
Yeah.
okay. Give myself, that's the grace versus the excuse. Grace is going, look myself in the mirror, right in the eye. I fucked up. But that's okay. That's okay. Because I have the ability to make mistakes and it is okay. And I am going to 100% admit to the fact that I was in my feelings because we're fucking females and we do it. And I made the mistake. But
Yep.
this is important to me. So I'm just going to and fight it. Like you got to fight it. Like you're looking at like you just want to go, fuck it. I just screwed up anyway. Because you've had years and years and years of doing that. Decades of
Yeah.
going, fuck it. I ate the pizza, so I might as well eat another pizza, the pint of ice cream, bag of peanut butter pretzels.
Yeah. It's a downward spiral for sure.
And but you if you have the ability to flip that up and be like have that cut, and that's the difference. You give yourself the grace for that. You drop the excuses, and you go take your happy ass to the gym, and you put your meals together, and you do all the things that you need to do, and you just go, I forgive myself for doing that, and I'm moving on.
Yes. And that's it. Like you forgiving yourself and not like, I don't know why we get so wrapped up into like picking up the bat and beating ourselves over the head. You're like, will we do that to somebody else or would we give somebody else grace? Like we are so hard on our own selves and we are like our own worst enemies at the same time, And so it's like I have to like put myself in a different perspective and say, hey, if somebody else did this, how would I be act towards them? Am I going to be loving and forgiving and kind? Yes, then I deserve the same respect for myself that I would give to others.
Exactly. Exactly. Tough love and soft love and love all
Yep.
together. You gotta give yourself the whole shebang.
Right?
Coach yourself as you coach somebody else. All right. Love this stuff, guys. I actually like I have 3 compadres coming along with me now. For 2. Fasted cardio, ladies. Sauna, gym, and not missing a meal. Not one.
Amen.
Else can join us too. I'm game. All right. Good call, guys. I look forward to seeing you back in action. Rita, Lieutenant, it was great to see your smiling face. Sandy, Jen, I will see you guys all later.
Have a great day.
You too.
Hi, guys.
Bye.